Well, a Seattle man posted a question on TikTok. Is it cheaper to live in Seattle or in an all-inclusive resort in Mexico or the Dominican Republic? Take a look.
Have you ever considered that it's actually cheaper to live in an all-inclusive resort than it is to live in the apartments that we currently occupy? Because I was curious about this myself and I decided to test it out. So here are all of my expenses for 1 month, right? So the rent, $2,300, utilities, Wi-Fi, going out to dinner, making food at home, my car insurance, gym, etc.
All right, that's Ben Keenan. He's a TikToker who makes videos about everything from travel to food to living in Seattle. Well, a Seattle-based company saw the TikTok and decided they wanted to test it out. So joining us to talk more about this is Ben Keenan himself, also known as I've Been Traveling on TikTok. So thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
It's crazy how TikTok works in social media, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a completely new way of engaging with society, engaging with the communities, nothing that we ever thought would happen before. So it's exciting to get to see this type of conversation happening.
Okay, so you took a look at the expenses and crunched the numbers against the cost of an all-inclusive resort in Mexico or the Dominican Republic. What did you find?
So a lot of people in Seattle know rent is very expensive here. Bills are expensive here. We live in an expensive city. Most big cities are expensive cities. And my friends and I were just kind of joking around, like, at this point, you know, it might just be cheaper to live in a hotel. And then we took it one step further. What if we lived in an all-inclusive hotel?
Ooh.
What if we did that on the beach, you know? So we found that when we actually look into it, it actually isn't that much different if you add up everything that you're spending as a monthly expense in Seattle compared to what you would be getting living at an all-inclusive.
It's so interesting. I know I can put some of that to the test, though, because way back in the day, my husband lived in a hotel for quite some time, and it actually was fairly inexpensive. Okay, so a company saw your video, and then what happened?
So they reached out and said, hey, this is actually something, you know, we would be interested in exploring ourselves. Do you want to go down and try it and see if it is in fact cheaper to live at an all-inclusive resort for a month?
And how could you say no to that?
How could I say no?
So how was it? Was it worth it?
Well, I leave on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it will be worth it. I will be posting daily updates, making sure that everything is adding up cost-wise. And at the end of the month, we're going to have the ultimate answer. Is it cheaper to live at an all-inclusive
What
resort?
are you thinking, though? What's your gut instinct? And do you think you're going to like it?
I think I'll love it. Yeah, the place that I'm going has a bunch of different restaurants and bar options, cafes, pools, you know, the beach. How can you hate it? My guess is it's going to be a little more expensive because you are on a spot where everything is inclusive. Okay. But I bet it will be very close.
Okay, so we've got that to look forward to. What else are you going to be looking forward to?
You know, just being in the sun. Yeah. We have the great. We had some great weather last week, but this week we got a little bit of the gray, a little bit of the rain. It's going to be 90 degrees every single day. Okay, so I know people, since we're talking about this now, I know I'm going to want to follow you. How can people follow this adventure? Are you going to be posting? Are you going to be talking about it a lot? Yeah, absolutely. I post full-time on I've Been Traveling on TikTok or Ben Keenan on Instagram. Both updates will be posted cross-platform. Okay, so we know your TikToks are pretty funny, and then you posted one for Rules for Seattle. Let's take a look.
Breweries before 5 are breweries. Breweries after 5 are bars. Children can go to breweries up until 5 p.m. After that, societally speaking, they should be gone. We are all fluent in passive aggression. That's it. Stop adding S's to companies and flagship locations. It is Pike Place Market, not Pike's Place. It is Nordstrom, not Nordstrom's. When you run into somebody that you know, and, oh my God, we have to catch up, let's go get a coffee. We're not getting a coffee. That's never gonna happen.
I like that you're saying this out there. I think the Nordstrom thing and Pike Place Market, I mean, people just don't know, and it just rolls right off, and usually not corrected because it's all in fun and games. But what are some of the other rules? I have said through and through, it is Pike Place, it is Nordstrom. I will die on that hill. Some of the other rules, I love the idea that, you know, if you're standing in line at 2 a.m. in Capitol Hill for a hot dog, you have to have cream cheese on that hot dog. Oh my God. If you're not having a Seattle dog, you're not doing it right. Oh my goodness gracious. You've got so many fun things out here you're experimenting with, and you kind of have to promise us that you're going to come back and fill us in and show us the videos and show us that lavish resort life that I almost want to go with. Yeah, all are welcome. Okay, well, we wish you good luck. And remember, people, you can follow Ben's adventures on I've Been Traveling on TikTok. So thank you so much for being here with us and giving us this little peek into this little luxury life. Of course, thanks for having me. Okay, we'll see if it works. Absolutely. Okay.